Yeah, this is the first sketchbook I've ever actually like filled to completion. Uh, I'm very proud of that. I sort of like set myself the goal of just fill it, even if a lot of it looks bad, which a lot of it does. These are some drawings from previous sketchbooks that I liked and ripped out because the other drawings in the sketchbooks were bad and I was self-conscious. I bought some Posco markers I wanted to try out. I've never used them before. So I was sort of just trying to do some like big friendly shaped characters on those pages. On this page, there was a sort of prompt list going around on Instagram, sword, timber. So I decided to draw a few of those, and then I kind of got bored with it and decided to move on. Then I was trying to do some gesture studies with a brush pen that I bought and frankly just like never used, and I was like, oh, this is a great time to use it. These are pretty bad, but the gesture pen kind of like, or the, not gesture pen, the brush pen kind of like gives sort of a weird energy to them that I kind of like, looking back like a month later, kind of really like. This page here, I was just trying to draw like a cartoonified kind of version of myself, like something you might see in a like webcomic, kind of like a slice of life kind of webcomic style. This page we were watching What We Do in the Shadows, great show. I don't know if you can tell, but this one was sort of the latest one into the night. I was getting kind of sleepy, so the next morning I went back because I didn't want to do Nadja dirty like that. They might yeah, these are, I actually really like these. They were done with like a, I guess, harder graphite I think, than I usually use. These were just some little like doodles. This, I was trying to mimic an artist on Instagram's like style. I'll try and like find anyone who like I sort of took inspiration from during this whole process. I'll try and find their Instagram handle and put it down in the description below. They have this sort of scratchy style that I really liked. I couldn't really get anything sort of similar effect. These were just some little comics I tried to draw. Just kind of just giving it a shot, just trying things out. This page here, let me just be very cautious. Not actually sure this is the best way that I could find to film this because I don't have any sort of stand. The film setup I'm using, I have this stand, I have another one holding up the camera. So these were just some, I just sort of wanted to do some like sort of smaller stuff, like really try and zone in on like like actually creating like a little scene. This, I think I was mimicking a painting I saw on Instagram or something along those lines. Then I watch a bit of Drawfee, and they have a draw class sort of series of videos. So I was doing those and just sort of taking some notes and sketching along with them. This is a little bit of notes on anatomy. Then I decided to do a bunch of sort of more gesture drawings, trying to use that new knowledge. Most of this sketchbook, honestly, is like gesture drawing and figure drawing that I was sort of doing just early in the morning when I didn't feel like drawing and just needed like something to do to like fill the sketchbook. Tried to again do the thing where I sort of focused in, but I wanted to use more color, and it turned out so much worse. These are some vague ideas of like D&D characters I have played or would like to play. These drawings are dreadful, really bad. I'm so embarrassed by them. This is the sort of thing that normally, if I hadn't like been forcing myself to keep going with this, I would have like ripped this page out and then eventually sort of gotten sick of drawing just altogether. These both also, I was trying to do some sort of perspective stuff. There's an Instagram artist who I was sort of, they do boxes with these characters in them. I'll post their thing down. It's very cool. And this is not. I'm not even gonna bother turning it sideways. It's just sort of a street view. And I drew this. I was sick I remember this day. I was just watching like a bunch of horror movies because my girlfriend was out and she doesn't really like watching those. So these are some of the characters from Block Island Sound, and then Velvet Buzzsaw. And then I took another one of those Drawfee classes. This one's about how to practice effectively. I actually found this like probably to be one of like the more useful classes I've taken just in general. Highly recommended. I'll post a link to those classes I'm talking about as well. Then I did some anatomy studies trying to just like recreate things, do a little redlining. I printed these pictures out on a not great printer, that's why they're all like vaguely purple. Just some more doodles up here, and then I think some more gesture drawing for the most part, these next couple of pages. And then another draw class. This one's about just sort of the face and how it's structured, generally speaking. Some more drawing of the face. And then this, I didn't spend enough time on it. Like, I kind of was just like doodling away, and I kind of like this almost like fisheye lens effect that's happening, the sort of circular clouds. I think this like could be a good thing to come back and do like an actual like try really hard to do like an actual rendered piece out of it. Some more stuff with faces. I was trying to connect my face and anatomy knowledge that I had just learned. And then a course on perspective as well that I was doing, just sort of trying to figure things out. I've been on an Arthurian legend kick, and so I think this is also based on something I saw on Instagram. I'm not sure I'll be able to find that one because I don't know if I follow that person or not. Then I did just some doodling, some little anthropomorphized animals, because, you know, if you want to be an artist nowadays, that's where the money is. Some more doodles, and then back into the anatomy. And then I started doing some like hand drawings, which hands are always really hard, but I feel like I always just give up on them. Some of these I kind of like, even though they're wrong for sure, there's like the sense that they are almost right. Like they kind of, I find them sort of weirdly visually appealing. Drew a bunch of Muppets over here, and then a bunch of feet, because that's where the money is. And then hands and feet. And then, so what I've been doing to do all these gesture drawings and then the hand and feet drawings is there's a website called Line of Action that just has a bunch of reference photos that they like will just run you through like increments of like 30 seconds or a minute, or they have class modes. And then I realized they had an animal page, and I thought it was very funny to try and draw an animal in 30 seconds. Some of them I actually really like. I kind of think this cat sort of turned out quite well. This is a nightmare down here. More hands. And then I took a little class on how hands are structured because I felt like I wasn't making a ton of progress. And then even more hands and more gesture drawing for a while, I think. And then I tried to do some faces, which ended up mostly terrifying, kind of a horrible mishmash. Although I do really like the page. I like how a lot of the sort of gesture and like 30-second drawing things end up looking as like a whole, like pulled back outside of it. Even though like close up, I'm not happy with them. And this is, I've drawn a horse, proving that I'm the greatest artist that's ever existed. I actually really like this ladybug and bumblebee or whatever this is. I think insects are really good for this kind of drawing because the shapes are just sort of obviously there and don't kind of meld together in the same way that a lot of animals do. Like the construction is a lot more easier, not more easy. And we've got more hands, more gesture, more gesture. Then I was just sort of doodling while we watched some sort of movie with the markers. Just a bunch of cartoony sort of stuff. This is a lot of what I would draw when I was like a younger kid. You know, I had like, it's sort of like simple enough that they can't be that bad, you know? then all these expressions, and then this. I was just trying to do like 30-second expressions and try and like actually turn them into some sort of like legitimate like piece, which is sort of interesting. And then I did a little bit of hand and gesture and like foot drawings as well down there. Then I was feeling not great, so the pages at the front and these pages are all like just drawings that I was really pleased with from, or reasonably pleased with from some previous sketchbooks that I just sort of had loose next to my desk, and I wanted to find a place for them, and I decided that this was the place. Same over here, and then I was just doodling to just fill some space, sort of, because I was in a bad mood. Did a bunch of little Adventure Time character doodles. Love that show. Some more hands and feet, and then I started watching Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Great show, can recommend, really good. Although I'm sort of a sucker for anything Studio Trigger does. A bunch of doodles. I really wasn't feeling it this day. This was I was not about it. Some more gesture drawing. More gesture, like hand and foot drawing. I had a bunch of postcards that I just started drawing on. I'd bought them for some reason. I think I was going to write short stories or something on them. I actually really like how they all look and like turned out. I think they're all kind of pretty, but I don't know what to do with them, so I decided to just glue, tape them in here on a day where I wasn't feeling like drawing. Some more expressions and gesture work. I want to try and do more like completed sort of actual bodies in the next sketchbook I do. Work and build up on top of the gesture drawings, but it's been like a really good, I think I learned a lot while doing it. And then just some doodles and some notes I took for myself at work, not even about drawing. The last page, and then some more drawings from a previous sketchbook. And that is Sketchbook Tour. That's my first ever fully completed sketchbook. Thank you so much. If you watched this, I appreciate it. If you're looking for a better version of this, I would recommend Chromamoma. I will also post to their YouTube, or post a link to their YouTube channel. They're sort of the I really like their sketchbook tours, and I think it sort of inspired me to do this one. Thank you. Goodbye.